Namaskar. Today we are going to discuss about how to debate. Debating is a fantastic skill. How do you convince your point to the other person by debating? How do you win the argument without going into an aggressive mood? Most of the time, we see the debates which are like shouted loudly, then only people feel that my point is made strong. So, the students of this generation who are participating in the virtual debates have to learn certain basic etiquettes of how to do a debate and how to convince your opponent without shouting. So I thought, as a teacher, it is my responsibility to teach the generation how to debate. Some of my students are getting inspired by certain shouting debates, which I don't want to name them. It's very sad to see students getting inspired with that, and they feel that is the right method of debating. So I brought few pointers in front of you to make you one of the best debater. What are the qualities of a good debater? Let me present my screen. Here comes the qualities of a good debater. Stay tuned till the end of the video. You will be able to become a fantastic debater once you watch the key points, once you know how to do a debate. Definitely you can do it more perfect. As I told you, why we need to know about how a debate is to be done. If you are willing to play a game, you should first know the rules of the game. You can play the game without knowing the rules of the game also. But if you know the rules and you play the game, definitely you will have an extra edge. This is what my efforts are to make you an extraordinary debater. Yes. Let me present my screen. The debate. The debate, what is a debate? Most of us feel that shouting and making a loud noise is a debate. But no, a debate is a formal discussion. When you discuss on one-on-one, two-on-two, or a group with another group, it is a formal discussion of the opposing sides. Definitely you will have a person who is opposite on your all points on a specific subject, or formal contest of arguments. So a debate is definitely between two opposing sides of one particular issue. So the person who is having a debate is ready to fix in his mind that he is going to get attacked from the opposite side. It's very clear from the definition itself. A debate is a formal discussion of the opposing sides on a specific subject or topic. This is a formal contest of arguments. How do you argue with others without shouting? Let us see. What is the purpose of the debate? The purpose of the debate is to express yourself and speak from your heart. It is to express yourself. How do you put your point and how do you do it from your heart? And you will get the opposition in your reasoning. You will get the opposition in your reasoning. And the art of debating teaches you to prove your point even if you get the contradiction. It tests your reasoning skills. So why do we do debates? The debate is a purpose to see your expression. How do you express yourself and speak your heart out of a given topic? How do you speak? And how will you get the opposition in your reasoning? The art of debating teaches you to prove your point. How do you make your point with a significant data and proofs? Even if you get the contradiction, you are still proving your point. It basically tests our reasoning skills. How to do a reasoning of a particular concept, particular subject, which side you are taking, why are you taking that particular side. You will give all this in the reasoning, and you will make your point very clear and firm. That is the purpose of the debate. So in short, if somebody asks you, what is the purpose of the debate? The purpose of the debate is to express yourself and speak from your heart on a given topic, and also test your reasoning skills. Let's move on. Yes. What are the rules of a debate? If you are participating in any debate, if you want to contest in any debate, you should definitely know the rules of the game. So what are the rules of the debate? First, there will be two teams, each of 2 or 3 speakers, or sometimes it is on one-on-one debate. If you have seen the US presidential debate, it is 1-on-1. Then each team has 2 or 3 constructive speeches on the topic what they want to say. The topic is given. Each team will have 2 or 3 pointers to explain from their end, and 2 or 3 counters to give from the opposite side. The affirmatives give the first constructive speech. You should give the first speech through a catchy dialogue, an affirmative, and the rebuttals give the alternatives. The affirmative has both first and the last speech. When worded as a proposition of a policy, if you are talking about a proposition of a policy, the topic requires the affirmative to support some specified action by some particular individual or a group. The proposition challenges you. If the affirmative have a right to make any reasonable definition of each of the terms of the proposition, and if the negative challenges the reasonableness of the definition by the affirmative, the judge must accept the definition of the team what you are giving and shows better grounds for its interpretation of them. So if you are talking on a policy, discuss about the particular incidents, particular individuals, take a meaning of the definition, meaning of the words which are used in the policy, and try to define it, and it should be acceptable by the judge, because he will help you to show whether you are going in a right path or not. That is the third rule. First, it has members. 2, there are constructive speeches. 3, there are proposition of policy. Fourth one, the affirmative must advocate everything required by the topic itself. When you are making an affirmative, that affirmative should be useful or helpful for the others to understand it very clearly what topic you are going to speak. No revision of the position of a team is permitted during the debate. So once you take a stand, you cannot deviate from that. You cannot move away from that stand. You have to hold your position. Fifth point, he who asserts must prove. He who is proposing has to prove it. In order to establish an assertion, the team must support it with some evidence and logic to convince the others. The team must be able to support the argument with some supporting evidences and the logics. Previously uninformed person, that is more reasonable to believe the assertion than to disbelieve it. So we need to be very, very careful and be supporting our arguments with the evidences. Facts must be accurate. We cannot manipulate the facts and prove your point. That is wrong. You should use the facts appropriately and accurately. The visual materials are permissible. You can use the visual materials, and once introduced, they become available for the opponents use if desired. The same visual material what you are proposing, suppose I give you a set of documents which I want you to use them as an evidence for my debate. The same source can definitely be used by my opponent also to quote the data from that one. So I cannot restrict my opponent from using my sources of data. So I have to be very clear on that. The sixth rule of the debate, the questioning period. The questioner may ask any fair, clear question that has a direct bearing on the debate, direct impact on the debate. The questioner may use the period to build up any part of his own case, to tear down any part of his opposition's case, or to ascertain the facts, such as opposition position on a certain issue that can be used later in the debate. So the questioner must continue himself to question and not to make statements, comments, or ask rhetorical questions. So you should be firm and clear on making the questions, on asking the questions. Each speaker is questioned as soon as he concludes his constructive speech. As soon as you make your constructive speech, you are opening the doors for questioning. The witness must answer the questions without consulting his colleagues. Once if I give a speech and if I am in the debate, I will not call my friend and find out and then tell the answer. No, you should be well prepared and you should answer it immediately. No new constructive arguments may be introduced in the rebuttal period. You cannot introduce a new constructive argument in the middle. The affirmative must, if possible, reply to the major negative arguments before the last rebuttal. And the judge must base his decision entirely on the materials presented, without regarding for the other materials that he may happen to possess. The judge may have different materials, but he has to use the materials which are submitted as evidences. That's it. Any gains made outside of the establishment procedures are disallowed, means not allowed. You cannot gain anything from outside. What are the types of the debates? There are 4 major types of debates. Generally in the schools, at the middle school and senior school, we basically follow team policy debates, types of debates. Generally in the schools, for middle school and senior school segment children, we follow team policy debates, where 2 or 3 members will be made as a team and they contest in the arguments. So cross-examination or debate association. This is a new type of 2-on-2 collegiate debate, which means this type of debate, the second type of debate, that is CEDA, cross-examination debate association, is formed in the colleges. Mostly it is done in colleges and university level. When it comes to third famous one, Lincoln-Douglas debate. Lincoln-Douglas debates are very famous because they are given on spot and they have given on a particular side of the argument, beliefs and religion or any aspect. So Lincoln is very famous with his speeches as it is with the Douglas. Finally, Lincoln won against Douglas and he became the president of USA. You can follow that style also when you become big. And coming to the spontaneous argumentation, the topic will be given then and there. With your thoughts, with your ideas, with your understanding, you can definitely make a spontaneous argument on the spot. Parliamentary debates, there will not be any background preparation. Then and there itself, they announce the topic for parliamentary debate. They will give a question hour, a question will be asked, so you have to come up with your point. That is the parliamentary debate. What are the qualities of a good debater? I listed out few qualities of a good debater. Let us see. The first one, become an active listener. The major problem with this generation, this youth, is that they're very poor listeners. They should be an active listener to be a good debater. Pay attention to your opponent's argument. Listen to that. Understand that. What is he trying to tell you? On what point he is basing his argument? That's why you should be an active listener. Find reliable sources. The second tip. Find reliable sources. Scrutinize them. Scrutinize your sources carefully to frame the arguments. Before you make any point, your sources have to be crystal clear. Quote the reliable sources. Monitor all exchanges. Take a detailed notes of all the debate instructions. If you are contesting for the first time, make a key point notes of all your debate instructions so that it's easy for you to understand. It is easy for you to understand. The fourth suggestion, polish your speaking style. Adopt to one style. Adopt Obama style or adopt Lincoln style. Adopt, fix to one style and follow that style. And the last suggestion, any debater should try to resolve the issue. The issue which is given to him or her, it has to be resolved carefully. You should look at the end point where you are trying to give a solution. Then only you will be called as a good debater. So let me quickly wrap. If you want to be a good debater, you should have active listening skills. You should have reliable sources. You should monitor all your exchanges. Polish your language. Then your style. Try to resolve the issue. That's where you will become a good debater. These are the few qualities what a good debater should have. As a youth who are going to lead, we have to stand up and raise above this crisis situation. So you people who are going to debate are definitely aspiring for some sort of leadership position, which means you are going to represent some section of people and you are going to fill their hearts with hope and aspirations. So you should be very, very polite while you are arguing. You cannot raise your tone. Be loud, shout, and make your point. If you shout and make your point, it definitely will not make any great impact. The language what you use has to be polished. That is the fourth tip what we learned. But at the same time, try to convince with some logic. Try to convince with some reasoning instead of simply shouting and trying to convince people only on the shout what you make. I hope all of you like this video. Please subscribe to our channel and comment below whatever you want, whatever types of videos you want, so that in future we can make as per your requirement. Thank you.